Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1361, 1361. Mike Matthews, broadcasting from Café Anyway, located somewhere in Podcaster Valley, Mont. Today, we bring you the segment, The Wow That's Wild Files. Plus, we'll hear from Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, John Deere the Engineer. Hey, it's been fun watching C-SPAN this morning as they get ready for the Comey testimony.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
He has a lot to say, even though he might be mildly nauseous.
It makes me mildly nauseous.
But what I
Mike's Daily Podcast.
loved was the callers that call in and they like to keep their head in the sand by saying Comey is not a reliable man and that he should be completely ignored. And then you have the people that are bored with all this talk and they stop talking about it.
Yeah.
But Greta Bronner is so hot.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
She hosts a little question and answer thing from the audience that calls into C-SPAN in the early morning.
Mike's
I'm going to tell you
Daily
that we're going to have
Podcast.
a little bit of news.
Yeah.
And that there's no ne'er-do-wells here, or untowards. Ne'er-do-wells and untowards. I was very pleasantly surprised by some teenagers riding their bikes all over Podcaster Valley, and I ran into them on the trails yesterday, and they go, "Hi!" And I said hi as I was walking. Basil the Boxer, look who walked in. And they said, "Tomorrow is the last day of school," which would be today. And I said, "Oh, have fun." And they're like, "Thanks, have a great day." Thank you, teenagers. You're not ne'er-do-wells and untowards. You're such great folk. And it made me happy. It made me thankful that there are young people today that have a positive attitude, maybe because the school is ending today, last day of school. Look who else walked in. Some people walked in here. Scary people. Hello, Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, Sheriff Supervisor. Last day of school, yay. I remember that way back when. It's been a long time since you were in school, huh? Yeah, I didn't like it. I don't like studying. Look who else is here. Oh, Mike, it's Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere the Engineer. Studying is so much fun. It's like putting stuff in your brain. Yeah, that's what it is.
And here's today's podcast picture.
It's of Shoreline Park in Alameda. That's a picture from Friday, and the sun. It was beautiful day and sailboats. And it's a part of the bay of Alameda that looks towards Jack London Square. And I had another picture a couple days ago with Basil the Boxer, but this one is no Basil. But we are just looking at these boats, and it's kind of a nice picture. See it now at mikesdailypodcast.com. Oh, wow. We're getting a what do you call it? A phone call. Hello?
Hello, Mike.
Yes, who's this?
Yeah, this is somebody. Hey, I expect loyalty. You got that loyalty?
Loyalty? All right. You know, I'll always be honest with you, is what I'm telling the podcast listener.
Yeah, that's what I want. Honest loyalty.
Okay.
Hey, Mike.
Yes, caller?
Remember that thing we were talking about? The loyalty?
No, I said I'd be honest with you. I didn't say, I meant that I'd be honest with you and not honest loyal.
That's the same thing! Honest loyalty! Okay, I gotta go.
Oh, it's like a little song. Oh, well, I love this music. All right, we'll come back to that music a little bit later on. Interesting. Let's see. All right. Okay. Nope, the music's gone. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was an interesting call, and I think it brings to mind some special little bit of testimony that we're going to hear a little bit later on today about honesty and loyalty and being loyal, and that's what life's all about. Hey, Mike'sDailyPodcast.com is a wonderful website that has all the past interviews. It's very simple. It's a simple website. It's not very complicated, not a lot of banners moving around, not a lot of boomerang. I would like to talk to the guy that invented the code for the boomerang effect on Instagram, where you see some motion happen, and then you see it in reverse, and then you see the motion happen, then you see it in reverse, and it goes on, and oh, it's so much fun, it's so funny. Hey, I would like to go back in time and find the guy that's doing the code and then, like, terminate him. Do it Terminator style.
I'll be back.
That's what I want to do. Anyway.
Anyway.
Café Anyway. There's nothing scary about what I just said, is there?
Because you'd be in jail.
What? Because I wasn't honest or loyal or something?
Wrong.
Oh. Well,
It makes me mildly nauseous.
Which is a very good thing. Which is a very, very good thing.
Finally, go to Mike'sDailyPodcast.com for that Amazon link if you're going to buy anything on Amazon, which apparently some people were doing something on Amazon yesterday and they kept getting pictures of a dog. And what could possibly be wrong with a dog? Dogs are wonderful. They're just saying hi to all of us all the time. So check that out, Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. If you're going to buy anything, that helps us out if you go through the Amazon link. There's also the PayPal if you'd like to donate to the show and become an inglorious Mike's Daily Podcaster. You'll get a special greeting from all the Café Anyway characters. And let's get to the segment now that is called...
Oh, wow, that's wild. Files.
I love it.
Well, this was weird. A device exploded in the U.S. Embassy compound in the Ukraine. The Ukraine capital of Kiev in the early hours, injuring no one, thankfully, but the attacker threw the device over the embassy's fence just after midnight, and it has been called by the police a terrorist act. This happened in the Ukraine. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who, I don't know if you've heard this or not, but he's dreamy. And Haley hates him, but whatever. The Daily Haley, which we had last show. But Justin Trudeau has tweeted his thanks to former President Barack Obama.
I appreciate that.
After the two shared a private dinner at a Montreal restaurant. Oh, and there's a picture of it. Look at them. It's not like a fancy schmancy restaurant. It's kind of well, they could probably serve. You know, in today's world, you have these restaurants that don't look fancy schmancy, but they put a couple candles on the table, and they can crank the prices up to high heaven, my friend. Oh my gosh. So a pulled pork sandwich is $30? Huh? That's not right. Ain't nobody got time for that. Oh, yeah.
I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy like that. You know what I mean?
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Can you dig it? Oh, that's what I did.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Thank you.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So, Trudeau posted a picture of their talking in the eatery with the caption, "How do we get young leaders to take action in their communities? Thanks, Barack Obama, for your visit in tonight's and insights tonight in my hometown."
Washington's made things worse.
A crowd cheered the two leaders as they left the restaurant. This was on Tuesday night. Trudeau said, "A nice opportunity to share one of my favorite hometown restaurants with an old friend and talk about the state of the world." Last year, Obama hosted Trudeau for a state dinner at the White House. Remember that? It was the first for Canada since 1997, and that was the day, something big happened that day. Trump said something about Obama was not the nicest thing.
That's not even funny.
And Obama had to comment on it, and Trudeau was there, and I think it had to do with, I forget now. My short-term memory is kicking in. Obama, or not kicking in, spoke to the Montreal Board of Trade Tuesday and decried what he called the lack of American leadership on climate change. Because, we pulled out of that Paris Agreement. And then Greg Gianforte, the newly elected Montana House Republican who body slammed the journalist Ben Jacobs of The Guardian just a day before his election, has issued an apology and agreed to donate $50,000 to the Committee to Protect Journalists. How nice. The donation and formal apology letter sent to Jacobs settle potential civil claims. And finally, yes, this is a big short show. It's a big short show today. And, we got a little bit behind because somebody called us and talked forever and wanted loyalty, and that got annoying. But Samsung has often timed its Note release to the late August IFA show. And I think that stands for the International Ferry Administration. That takes place each year in Berlin, but last year the Note 7 arrived early in August, which wouldn't have been a big deal if the plus-size phone had not burst into flames. And you know what? It prompted 2 separate recalls, and it all had to do with the battery. It had something to do with that. Speculation was that Samsung rushed to get the Note 7 out far ahead of Apple's iPhone reveal in early September. The Note 8 is Samsung's first real chance to rehabilitate the line, while the Galaxy S8 was the first phone to use Samsung's 8-point battery check for phone safety. It's the Galaxy Note line that needs to come out the other side flame-free. With so much riding on the Galaxy Note 8, it's crucial that Samsung sticks the landing, especially if it wants to start selling phones before the 10th anniversary iPhone's release, which Apple is expected to announce in early September. The Note 8 rumors include a 6.3-inch bezel-less display. Bezel. So that means what? That it's got I'm looking at my Samsung. Like it's got no edge. It's just sort of a smooth thing. Is that what we're saying? 18.5 to 9 or larger length to wide screen ratio. 18.5. And that's... I don't have a... Let's see. This is about... This piece of paper. This is what? Is this 6 inches across? I don't know what it means. It sounds like it's big. Dual rear camera with 12 megapixel and 13 megapixel lenses. Okay, that's good. Get even clearer photos. In addition to the iPhone, or whatever Apple calls the next major, I heard it was iPhone X. LG is expected to arrive with the LG V3, the next generation in its line, for power users, for you wonderful LG users. We may see all 3 flagship phones boasting similar premium features, and timing could factor into their success. So it just all comes down to if you're a douche and you gotta have an Apple because Apple only Apple makes the coolest things. As we go outside of Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley. Did I just get a little bit angry there? Did I just show a little bit of judgment about how Apple people annoy me? I think of all the people in my world that annoy me, they all own Apple stuff. So, and it seems like all the cool folk own LG and Samsung stuff. My friends like Jarell Nemay and Haley, for example, Next show, it's going to be less judgment, less phone calls, more happiness, more news, more craziness. And we'll hear from the wonderful Benita the Disgruntled Fiddle Player and the Brewmaster. I think that should work. I think I was a little bit too honest there.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!